Hey guys, what's going on? So I just finished watching episode 451 of the Naruto Shippuden um, series. So now I'm going to give you a quick review of it. So it's the beginning of the Itachi saga, which is one of my favorite characters in Naruto as a whole. It's a lot of people's favorite character, and I want to give my opinion on it. So from the start, it was a little disappointing. There was no change to the opening theme, and honestly, the opening theme is fine, but it really needs to change. The pacing's a little too slow for I feel the direction Naruto's heading. I feel like 16 and 17 captured that theme perfectly. However, the opening theme really doesn't take away or add anything, or take away from the episode, but it doesn't add anything either. So now let's move on to getting back to canon. I was extremely happy to see that. It wasn't much canon, and honestly, it really didn't do much but show everybody's flashback, which was not necessary at all. But it was nice to see, the characters going and the plot, kind of moving forward. After that abysmal, the filler episodes were awful, but you know what I'm saying. It's nice to see canon back, at least for a short while. But I think like this filler arc's gonna be a lot more interesting than the previous one. And like I said, there's no need for everyone's dreams. That kind of felt like a filler in itself, where they were just trying to put some more clips in there to, draw out an episode, or to, draw out things. It just seemed unnecessary. There's no need for us to see Shinos, Konkuros, Tamaris, Shikamaras. There's no need for us to see all that. A few of them, yes, that's fine, but not all of those. So it opened up with a war scene where Itachi was running through a battlefield, and that is exactly how Itachi's was described. How his personality was kind of born. How he saw this gruesome brutality, and he kind of changed the way he looked at things, and it kind of birthed what's going to become Itachi in the future. However, I didn't think that the scene was very brutal. You saw a lot of dead people, but there wasn't enough blood and gore. Now, I know Naruto's targeted for a younger audience, so therefore they couldn't do it. I'm just saying, if they wanted to do it right, if they wanted to really, for the audience to kind of understand the brutality that he witnessed, the scene actually needed to look brutal in itself. A bunch of guys laying there appearing to be sleeping uncomfortably does not count. There should be blood and gore to note how brutal the scene Itachi witnessed. It would make more sense that Itachi wouldn't want to see that scene again. You know what I'm saying? It's just not as scarring, what we saw. So it then took over to a funeral scene where a certain plot point might have been revealed of the series, where the Uchiha kind of looked at Kakashi like, should we take care of him because he does have our secret technique, the Sharingan? Should we get rid of him? And although the Papa Uchiha brushed it off and said it wasn't necessary, I feel like that was mentioned for more than just that. I feel like that's going to continue, and it would definitely make the series a lot more interesting if there was a certain kind of, we have to do something about, Kakashi having our abilities. So I thought that was interesting. And then I thought that Papa Uchiha's, meaning Sasuke's dad, personality was actually pretty cool. He was a lot different than I expected. He actually seemed to care a little bit more. He seemed so cold in Sasuke's flashbacks, and perhaps when he starts, wanting to revolt against Leaf, that's kind of the personality change he has. But he seems like he genuinely does care about his kids. He always seemed that way, but he just seems more emotional now, not so cold to them, which is nice to see him have more of a kind of a personality that I can understand and relate to. So Orochimaru appeared soon after that, and I don't know. I didn't really like the scene with Orochimaru. I liked Orochimaru in the original series Naruto, but he kind of seems like an afterthought in Shippuden, more of a really annoyance than an actual cool character. That's just my opinion. I thought the conversation between Itachi and Orochimaru seemed unnecessary, and perhaps it's kind of hyping up something that happened in the future, but I didn't think that was a necessary scene at all. That's just my opinion. And then it opened up to a badass cliff diving scene, and the scene was badass, great animation, cool, scene. It seemed like they really tried to, make that an action sequence, even though it really made no sense. Why did he dive off that cliff? Could it really be for training? It didn't seem that way. It seemed like he wanted to attempt suicide and then decided at the last minute, wait, what am I doing? And then he brought out those kunais and saved himself. And then it kind of opened up to a crow scene. And I always thought the crow symbolized Itachi very well, because a crow is a misunderstood, or I guess it was a raven. A raven is a really misunderstood animal. People kind of look at it and see a sinister story behind it, when really it's, It's not. Now I could delve into that deeper, but that's just I thought a crow symbolizes Itachi very well. So moving on, it opens up to Sasuke's birth, and that kind of I think this scene really kind of did a good job of showing why Itachi cares so much for his little brother. Not only is Sasuke Itachi's little brother, but he also kind of showed Itachi the good in life when he thought that life, what is life's meaning? He thought that the world was so dark, and then he sees Sasuke kind of a light in darkness. And not only is Sasuke Itachi's little brother, but he is also kind of a retribution in this life, kind of like a light in the darkness that Itachi sees Sasuke as, which really helps put into light why Itachi cares so much for his little brother, other than the fact that it's just Sasuke being his little brother. So later we were introduced to, Itachi's classmates. We have the stereotypical bullies that are always found in the Naruto Ninja Academy. And then we see a girl who is probably going to be Itachi's love interest. Now, we don't really know that much about her. She seems kind of shy and quaint, kind of like Hinata, but a little bit more confident. Hinata would have never approached Naruto like that, so we'll see. Maybe she'll be more like a Ren character. It'll be interesting to see. I do know that story kind of ends tragically. It'd be interesting to see how it gets there, though, because she didn't appear to be an Uchiha. Now, I'm under the impression that Itachi kills her. That's what I was told. Can't really remember the source. But it doesn't really make sense why he would do that if she's not an Uchiha. And she didn't appear to be a Uchiha. I may be wrong. We'll see. We'll find out. But an interesting character to keep an eye on and to see how she affects Itachi. So it ends with the Nine Tails. And now, watching the episode preview for the next episode, I don't think that they're going to show Itachi's perspective in that night, and I'm totally fine with that. I think that night's been a little too overplayed at this point, and there's no need to continue showing it over and over again, but it is interesting kind of showing everybody's what they were all doing that night. So I thought it was an interesting scene that doesn't need to be expanded on. I think that was fine. However, I feel like they really move fast in this episode, and that's fine. It's always nice to see Naruto, especially something that takes forever, a show that takes forever to move the plot forward, actually really rush through Itachi's childhood, doing a good job of setting up for future episodes. So it was nice to see all that the timeline move so quickly. Now I'm guessing that's going to slow down in the next few episodes, but still, I thought it was a great way to do that. So we'll talk about the ending. Now the ending is actually a very good ending. It's not amazing, but it really does set a good tone, especially the animation and things going on during it are very entertaining. And I like it a lot, and it's definitely going to be an ending that I will not click away from when the episode ends. So the preview showed Shisui being introduced and a little bit more about Itachi's possible love interest. So I will hopefully be bringing you a review for that episode too. I hope you guys enjoyed. Give me your thoughts on the episode. Do you think this is going to be a good good arc, or do you think it's going to be another filler arc? And I know it's a filler arc, but is it going to feel like a filler arc, or is it going to actually be genuinely good, like a canon episode, even though this technically is canon? So I don't know. Give your opinion. Give me your thoughts, and I'd love to give you feedback and respond to all your comments. So please give the video a rating if you want to see more review videos like this, and I will let you guys go. This is General Walsey signing out. See ya.